Good morning, YouTube. We're out here with another one. This is actually in front of our project that we're selling today. So I want to stop by one more time before we close, because now that we have numbers finalized, I can kind of go over a few of the more, details that go along with flipping. So this is the last part of this series for this house. I don't plan on flipping another house anytime soon. Sure, maybe I'll flip, I have the rest of my life. The chance of me flipping another house ever is very likely, but the chance of me flipping a house in the next 3-6 months, very low. So going into the living room, it's actually really early in the morning. I wanted to stop by before work. It's a little bit dark. I had the power turned off a few days ago. One thing I like to do is that electric bills can be kind of high when you have a house that you're just sitting and not doing anything in. So I like to turn off the power usually a week before, just so I'm not wasting money, because at that point usually all the appraisals, inspections and such have finished. So let's go over some details. We posted this house on the market for $325,000. I did a good amount of professional photos, and we ended up getting 2 offers within, I think, 6 days. Here's the back. So one offer was for $305,000. Traditional offer, I think it was conventional, and they basically just said 305, let's go under contract. We'll get 5 days of an option period, and then we can back out and do whatever. Versus I got a second offer for $300,000. And this time with no contingencies or appraisal, whatever, and no concessions. So there's a risk in that, because obviously the 305 is a higher number, but in my experience flipping houses, people will nickel and dime you for anything. All right, they're gonna be like, oh, there's a scratch here. I want $500. Oh, there's, the inspector said this is kind of weird. We want $2,000. And I just hate getting a list of tiny things that they want me to fix that don't really matter, that they just want because they want it to be absolutely perfect. And then I end up having to call a guy, and it's a total pain. So realistically, even if I accepted at 305, I'll probably really be overall all in for 300, and have to work and get a contractor to come by and do all this other random stuff. So I ended up choosing for the $300,000 offer, and then that was it. So we went under contract. They didn't even have an inspector, to my knowledge. I think they just came by here by themselves a few times, which is good. They didn't know that the water heater was off, so I had to turn it on, and then they were like, oh, there's hot water. But overall, I'd say it took I went under contract in 7 days, and then it took exactly 28 days before closing now. So in terms of a speed, this is exactly what I like. 1 week of offers, and then 1 month to close. The 1 month to close, you can almost never get around unless they're buying cash, and that's never happened for me, at least with these houses. So I'm pretty happy with it. We are going to be making, this is going to be a drum roll, $12,000. Now, that sounds pretty good, but it's not that much money. It's going to hit my account, and I'm going to see the money, but in terms of does that change my life? No. Does it let me buy more deals? Kind of. Was it enough money for the amount of work it took? A good amount of time finding the property, offering other houses, getting under contract, dealing with the agent, and then all the construction, managing all that demo, getting scammed $2,000. List goes on and on and on. Was it worth it? Arguable. I mean, I already know how to do it. None of this is very complicated. So did I learn anything? Not really. Just pick better contractors, which you should learn anyways. So it's it's one of those things where I don't feel upset, but I don't feel extremely happy. But it's okay. We're going to keep going. So we're going to make $12,000. And that's because our purchase price was $220,000. And our rehab was around $57,000. I actually tallied up the math. That was a little bit over budget in my initial estimates because I was double counting some receipts. And that makes our all-in cost $277, I think, around, plus a month and a half of holding costs, another $3,000, so $281. We sold it for $300, remember, and that would be $19,000 in spread. Of that, I paid $8,500 or $8,000 to the seller agent, and that's it. Then I keep the rest. So I'm pretty good. You know, it's obviously, like, if I were to sold it for $325, like my list price, I would have made $37,000, $34,000, which would have been incredible. But you know, I'm sure I could have waited a week, another week, 2 weeks, maybe longer, a month after getting my 2 initial offers to get more. But the thing is, like, when you're a hot listing, you kind of want to execute and move quickly. I've seen people, you know, they kind of miss their first tranche of offers and they end up just kind of sitting there and waiting for another guy to come by. And now you're no longer the hottest listing. So it's like, dang, you missed that momentum. So in my experience too, the first offer is usually the best offer, and that's just how it is. So that's all I can really say about this. Will I feel sad that I sold this house? Not really. I mean, you know, I think in the first part I talked about how I wanted to kind of keep it as a rental, and this would have been a great rental. It's small, it's easy, and it's cute. But you know, the person that buys this, they're going to be very happy and they're going to live in it, and they're going to probably double the value in 20 years. And I'm happy for them. You know, it's been a really cool journey, really awesome doing this and kind of understanding all the aspects of flipping houses. I have a pretty heavy base knowledge of construction at this point, that I've created just by failing and doing this multiple times. And it's really cool stuff. So if you like the video, please subscribe, comment, rate, let me know what you want to see. Just wanted to kind of give you a last update on this house flip and how it's going and how we're going to actually sell it and make some money. So shoot me a text, connect with me, call me, text me on LinkedIn. I love meeting you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya.